I have been getting a lot of Elisa Jordana stuff from James. He's been sending me a lot of things on this. Last week we talked about that guy who was her sidekick.
Right.
And head of like her IP streaming university or whatever. And this guy was, basically wrote a manifesto admitting to all kinds of horrific crimes with kids. And he's been sending me a lot of stuff this last week, and I've gathered some of it. Today, right after this next story, we'll be doing a collection of clips of Elisa Jordana knowing about this guy. Literally, Johnny, I have a clip of him admitting to his crimes in front of her on a stream. Nobody took it seriously. And then we finally have the admission from her about what her former co-host was. And what does she do? She
dismisses it and brings it all in on her.
Not
about
only,
how she's got problems and it's all good. We just have to all give space.
Right.
Whatever.
She
blew it off.
She's a survivor. She's this amazing person. And then when he goes and admits all this stuff, she's staring at her chat. She's staring at her phone because she's the ultimate narcissist. She's not hearing a word this guy says. She's just waiting for her next moment. This piece of shit has been so desperate to be famous for so long. And as she gets older and older and uglier, and the outside starts to match the inside, the desperation gets more and more evident. I mean, now... Fuck it, we're doing the Elisa Jordana thing now. I'm worked up.
Right,
now she's just basically gathered this group of mentally ill young men that think she's pretty or something, and they are obsessed with her. They go into her Discord. I mean, they've swatted us before, and then that guy got arrested. They swatted Bob Levy. They swatted Chrissy Mayer. All of this stuff. And now this piece of shit, every time something like this happens, because when you cater to mentally ill people, a lot of people in your fandom are going to get busted for fucked up shit. Because
they might be, I don't know, mentally fucked up.
Exactly. Well, in these clips we've got, I think the first one I have, yes, this is the clip of her admitting who this guy was. But not because she wanted to, but because someone on her stream told her she had to, basically confronted her on it. This is Elisa Jordana. Again, this is a 40-year-old woman, I think older than 40, pushing 50, going around town with a cell phone, letting people say horrific things about her, letting people say horrific things about, the guy that got arrested, that turned himself in, and just basically doing anything. I think she got kicked out of the IP2 community. Which
I have no idea. I don't follow it at all.
It's not, well, this James has been sending me some really good stuff, so I'm pretty well caught up. The IP2 community is not like it's not a Benedictine order of monks. These aren't good, decent people just trying to have clean streams. It's an adult IRL streaming organization that does weird, fucked up shit and will fuck with people from time to time, but she's too much and they kicked her out. But she tells these mentally ill boys, these lost boys with mental problems that are in her fandom, that she's always the victim. People are always doing things to her because they're jealous because she's pretty. Basically take your most vapid, self-centered LA twat, give her a camera, give her video, give her a YouTube account, and then turn her loose without meds. And you're about a tenth of the way to Elisa Jordana. So here she is.
I'll say this before we get into it. Like, If I just met her at a bar or whatever and it was like a one night thing, yeah, sure. But like if I like came upon her as someone like literally filming herself being the person she is, if I actually got to know her for a split second, good God, no. Like, oh my God, no. That is a whole bunch of that. She might as well be a red flag.
Yeah. So here she is finally admitting about the guy we covered last week. That wrote that manifesto, sent it to police, admitting to what he did to children. Here she is.
I had a pedophile. Tell them that. I had a pedophile. Tell them that, because the other day, you would not. All right. I had a pedophile as my co-host, and I'm still here.
Whoa! That's
I'm
amazing.
a survivor. I'm a work harder.
That's incredible. Are you okay, Elisa? Are you all right? That had to be a really traumatic time for you. You know, I seem to remember last week, what were you saying? Oh, yeah, he's just got some mental problems, and I really hope he gets better. And then the other rumor is, deny it if you want to, because I don't know what the truth is, that you're sending this fucking hump money? That this guy's giving you thousands of dollars? God knows how he got it. You don't care. And instead of giving it to his victims or giving it to any kind of foundation, you're stocking up this guy's commissary account, allegedly, is what we're hearing.
Ooh.
By the way, the years are starting to show. Not only that, I had a pedophile as a co-host, and I'm still here. Wow, way to set a low bar. You're not a pedophile. All right.
Or at least you just haven't gotten caught yet.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't a pedophile until last week when he wrote his manifesto. We didn't know.
He was your co-host. It was weird.
He was Elisa Jordana's co-host, which honestly, I think you should be punished harder in prison for that than the pedophilia.
She's offended that she wasn't victimized. She thinks, oh, why wasn't? Because you're like 40, lady. No, I'm a beautiful young flower. He had to have seen me as a prepubescent teen. No. Good God, you got 4 decades under that belt.
You can't be this guy's victim. You're too old.
Too old.
You would not.
Right. I had a pedophile as my co-host, and I'm still here.
Tell them.
Show me somebody else that will
Tell
do that.
them.
A person with any kind of fucking dignity? That's who. Tell me anyone else who wouldn't be who would be here if they had a pedophile as a co-host. No one would still be here if they had a pedophile as a co-host, because if you enabled a pedophile for years and years, you would step down and fucking walk away in shame because the pedophile was your co-host. You would go, I resign, like a TV show. They would go, look, we're going to wrap it up. This is our last season, like House of Cards did. Because of Kevin Spacey, we're gonna, put this thing to bed. We're finished now. This is embarrassing. That's what you would do. Wow, I had a pedophile as a co-host, and I still hit go live on my phone.
That says so much more about you in a way I don't think you realize is not flattering.
No, it's not flattering at all. But don't worry, you're a survivor. You still hit go live on your phone, and you have the audacity to keep streaming to people after enabling this guy.
Is she pitching the whole I had a pedophile as a co-host thing as somehow she's a victim for that?
She's always a victim.
So forget the actual victims that he created.
Yeah.
You're a victim because you associated with him?
Yeah, guys, you know who's really the most injured by all this? Elisa Jordana, of course.
All right.
Tell them that.
I had a pedophile as my co-host, but I'm still here.
Wow, good for you. I want to see how much further this goes.
I had a pedophile.
Tell them that.
I had a pedophile.
Tell them that.
I mean,
Elisa's hiring her new boss.
Someone send a song. Send that
HR
song.
department sent $5. She doesn't need coaching. Leo, if you're not into it, then don't do it. You aren't cut.
Oh, okay. Then they move on to something else. Okay. I mean, yeah. Why dwell on that? It's very traumatic for her, Johnny. I mean,
She's, she's suffered so much these past few days after everything that's happened. We really need to understand, out of everyone, the real victim is Lisa Jordana.
Fuck. It's remarkable. Then you have, God damn, I'm trying to think because I got so many things bouncing around. You've got the fact that she had kids on her stream and this guy was doing the booking for her. So there's that as well. It's King James now. I just want to correct one thing. It's King James now. He says they just moved on with Sean Penn's wife on House of Cards. No, they were already filming that season when the Kevin Spacey
tried to, and they used it to wrap it up. It did not go well.
Yeah, they were already filming the last season when the Kevin Spacey stuff happened, so they were kind of stuck. They had to, so they just said, we're done after this season. We're finishing it up. One last season. We're going to wrap it up this way. That's it. If they weren't filming yet and they weren't writing and that Kevin Spacey thing happened, they probably just would have canceled the show.
Probably. But hey, at least Kevin Spacey went along with everything and didn't release a completely counter video where he continues to play his character, fight his charges, and insist that I will return. Like, oh my God, really?
It was so bad. But then, I mean, didn't he beat the charge?
He did beat the charge.
He did beat the charge. So Frank was right on that one. It was literally a Frank Underwood season where you're like, how the hell is he going to...
The video's called Let's Be Frank.
Yeah, and you're like, how the hell is Frank Underwood going to get out of this one? And he just bangs that ring on the table and not guilty. Hobo Chili Recipe says, do you want to be in the same hole that Andy Dick was in? No, thank you. Yeah, I mean, the things this pig woman has done to try and become relevant or famous outside of having talent, because she has no talent. She can't really sing. She can't really dance.
Not really funny, not really that attractive.
You look at the audience she attracts, a bunch of mentally ill, 20-somethings that want to see the pretty girl say hi to me. I mean, that's not really a marketable skill. So now the question is, did she know about this guy before he turned him in? Did she protect this pedophile before he turned himself in? And Johnny, funny I should ask that question because I do have an answer for you.
See, I would have said no, but go ahead.
This is from a July 7th stream. And again, thank you to James who got this for me, who sent me these. July 7th, this is a stream with Elisa. She has since deleted this stream, by the way. This stream does not exist as of last week. Here we go.
Can you also discuss his posture? Does he have any mental disorders? Okay, go ahead, Jimmy.
So there he is. There's the monster. There's the animal. There's the piece of shit.
Okay, he's, I'm sorry. I know it's a Hawaiian shirt, but he is literally wearing a red flag.
Yeah, he's literally a walking red flag.
Sure. They're probably talking about the fact that I'm a sociopath, a serial killer, a kidnapper, and I've never been caught. Gotten away with everything.
Look at her. She's just staring at the chat, reading people's shit. She's not hearing a word of this.
I'll give a slight benefit of the doubt. There might be the ability to believe that he's being sarcastic. Now, certainly as we look back on it, probably not. But
have you ever heard the saying, when people tell you who they are, believe them? But I mean, this look and this speech, this is everyone. This is every one of her fans. Every one of her fans is just this weird, dead-eyed monster. I mean, if you want to open up a show's closet and find skeletons, I bet you no more bones pour out of any more closet than Elisa Jordana's. I mean, her fans, the people she associates with, and her herself, I'd shudder to think. There's probably literal corpses in a lot of those closets.
Oh.
But as far as this guy goes, I get it that you could argue that he's being sarcastic here.
No, you could, but I'm saying his delivery kills that. There's an like I hate saying this. There's an art to it, I guess, about being sarcastic and over the top.
Right.
And this seems less like that and more like oh, well, it's because of this, that, and the other. And like, again, it seems a lot more like an admission, which is hard for her to notice since she's not paying attention at all.
She doesn't pay attention. She's a narcissist. She waits for her turn to talk. I always make that joke about myself, but I'm listening to people and I'm doing a show and I'm talking, but I always make the joke like, people say that I'm just waiting for my turn to talk. This woman is literally the embodiment of that. She's doing it. She's reading the chat. This guy might as well be doing the Charlie Brown teacher voice, just the while she's reading the chat.
Want to be on the distribution for my confession at some point? Because I'm going to mail out my confession to everybody at some point.
Guess what? A month later, this guy mailed out his confession.
This clip is going to air and just make us look so funny. There's a little bit of like a joke attitude there with I'm going to mail my confession out at some point. But again, nothing over here. She's not watching, paying attention, or listening, which would be really helpful.
She also doesn't do a comedy show, so him doing this is out of place.
It's out of place.
Yeah. Like even if you did this rant, I would talk to you after the show. And I would go, you might need some time off. Like you're getting a little.
Who are you now? My therapist and the people that have to check on me regularly? Go yourself.
I would have a conversation if you were doing this. But her, she's just looking up her next song she's going to 50-year-old dance to.
And just send Elisa or send me your email address if you want those details. I think we shouldn't go into any more details on this stream. But yeah, sociopath, psychotic, crazy, a nut, hiding things. You have no idea. You have no idea how much I'm hiding.
He even looked at her as if to go, you want to jump in here? Because I'm admitting all of my sins.
At any point, I'm being just a horrible person. And he's even checking to see, like, how is this washing on you? And he's really like, oh, you don't care.
Yeah.
You literally don't care.
If you're a nasty, terrible person, they say you can be next to evil and not know it, and you'll be totally comfortable. This creepy, obviously smelly dude is less than an inch away. He's touching her, and she's totally fine just reading her chat. So this is like evil and evil together.
Well, she's got to see if she's made any money and hear about how beautiful she looks today.
That's true, yes.
Everybody only gets to know 80%. That 20%, it's in here. Nobody else knows it. So, when the other 20% comes out, I'd love to include you on the distribution.
Okay, see, this is where your whole where you were saying, oh, if you wanted to, you could try to give him the benefit of the doubt. No,
that's gone.
He's leaning into this distribution thing. He's clearly admitting to things.
And it's just, for it to be a bit, you have to be working with it.
Right.
There's a back and forth. There's no back and forth here. He's just admitting to being a piece of garbage. And it's
how much of this do you think she's heard?
I'd say maybe, if we're being generous, 5%.
I was going to say
she's heard him say a couple of the joking things, and most of the time she's been staring at her phone. I'd be lucky to believe she's heard more than him being like, "Oh, what? You mean they're talking about how I'm a horrible person?" And she just went, "All right, no."
Yeah, and then maybe she heard 3 words. I'm going to go with not a word because I'm very biased against her.
Get me your email address. Just, I don't know where you are. Discord, Jim Delan, the 111 Experience on YouTube. Just send me it, and I'll get you on the distro. So then you'll have all the details. Was that enough?
I don't know. So they're just asking.
I don't know. You know why she said I don't know? She didn't hear a fucking word.
Listening.
This is a bad person. Like, I worry about everyone who watches her because we're not converting. Like, right now, there are no Elisa Jordana fans in our chat that we're turning because they can't hear this shit. They shut it off. I shudder to think the mental capacity of people who watch her and like her. And then I shudder to think what they're doing to people on a daily basis. I shudder to think how they're victimizing people. Because the only 3 people I've ever had any knowledge of on the internet of people who are associated with Elisa, one of them is going to prison for pedophilia. One of them is going to prison for possession of child porn and swatting. And another one whips his dick out on streams randomly. I mean,
don't want to be one of those people, but dude, look how the screen looks where you paused it.
He looks like the devil.
Yeah, one of his eyes looks like it's freaking serpent-like.
He's lizardy.
All right,
he's turning into a lizard.
He's like literally like the demons right there. And she's just like, and how are my super chats?
Well, she stays warm from the heat of hell.
Oh,
so
actually, I heard a rumor that the devil is surprisingly cold. It's a misnomer. It's believed he burns hot, but actually runs.
The book
cold.
says we lose. Sorry. Consider the source.
Some people don't know.
Do you need anything else? Do you need any other details? What are they saying? Anything
They're
else?
saying,
The DA is saying turn yourself in at 9 a.m. Boy, and not only that, she's a terrible host, too. Like, this is a lot of dead air.
Yeah, dude. This is one reason where, like, if you're going to rely on your chat so heavily, you have to have it up on the screen. But that's a double-edged sword because then anyone can see what people are writing. So you got to work with your chat better. You're just sitting there reading it. Why do people tune into this?
I don't know. Again, they want to see the pretty lady say nice things to them. I mean, she has less people. So we have YouTube and Rumble. So you have to combine our numbers to get our whole audience. So right now we're somewhere between 650 and 800 where we are every day at a time. In the evening shows, we're somewhere between 300 and 400. Right now, and those are our week show. The evening shows are our smaller show. She has 234 people watching right now. And I shudder to think what those 234 people are like, what they do to other people, the kind of things they think, the kind of things they dream. I mean, these are nasty, nasty individuals. There's been too many problems for us to believe that it's just a few bad apples. with this Elisa.
Yeah, if you need anything else, just send me an email or reach out to me on Twitter. JLWN111 everywhere. Twitter, Gmail, Hotmail, Outlook. JLWN111 everywhere.
I will say this, she's so bad at this that at least he's hosting the show. Like,
is his hand on her shoulder? No,
yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Okay, it looked like it was. You know, he may be a monster and a pedophile and absolute human garbage, but at least he's trying to, as we say in the business, keep the ball up in the air.
Yeah, dude, he's sadly, I hate to say, better on-screen talent than her.
Right. The star of the show went to prison for pedophilia, unfortunately.
Instagram, Twitter, Gmail.
How about the fact that this guy went to prison, but the bigger demon is still broadcasting? It's fascinating to me.
AOL, Hotmail, Outlook. So there's every way to get in touch with me. If you want to be on the distribution list for my confession when it goes out, please send me an email. It's the best I can do right now.
That's nice.
That's nice.
After all that, that's nice.
She's had her face in the chat. She's had him going off right next to her.
The entire time. Nice. The entire time. Yeah.
At what point does this stuff not make you start looking like maybe we should be looking, like, no offense, if I'm arresting this guy and this video and stuff is out there, I at least feel like a talking to is in order.
Right. James, by the way, who's been sending me these, says the media sources, podcasters, and video creators covering the story of Jimmy without investigating Elisa would be like covering the Sharon Tate murders without mentioning Charles Manson. I think there is an enabling element to her and all of these people. I do. I think that I think she enables them. I think she gives them access to things they wouldn't have if it weren't for their access to her. So yeah, I mean, boy, is that fucked up. And then like I said, she wasn't listening to a word that guy said. At the end, she just goes, "Oh, okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just, that's nice." Concrete Pete says he could have been arrested right there, and she would have said, "That's nice." Yeah. Sean says, was this conversation used in court? I don't think there's going to be a trial.
Yeah, because he turned himself in. He admitted to stuff. It's not like they're going to, like, you know, have a trial. I mean, because if you turn yourself in and admit to guilt, you're just guilty, right? Like, at that point, you just get sentenced, don't you?
Yeah. April says, I've never actually seen anything like this. She's like, again, I feel like when I yell and scream about her, I feel like I'm seeing a demon and no one else sees the demon, but I know I'm right and I know I've got this nailed. And this has been me since I entered the YouTube world in general. Everyone
I've made Keanu's wife in The Devil's Advocate.
Right? Everyone, I've been able to call everyone spot on, every situation spot on. I'm about 3 months ahead. So I get mocked for it at first. And then you give it 90 days and you're like, oh, I look like a dipshit. Aaron was right. I mean, it's the same curse, unfortunately, that Gino Bisconti has, being right about everything. It's terrible. You have no idea the toll it takes.